Westerners today eat awful and disgusting foods that will make most people sick to the stomach. Obviously, a number of these are passed down through history, as we tend not to think of foods we eat today as disgusting, but there are a few surprising additions from our current fare. Don't expect a list full of kidneys, livers, and hearts, all of which are delicious and you should try them. Today we will look at the top 10 disgusting foods eaten by Westerners. Number 10. Rocky Mountain oysters, found in the Western world. Known by a variety of names, such as criadillas, in Spanish-speaking countries, and prairie oysters, in parts of North America, these are fried bull's testicles. You can use your imagination when it comes to working out why this dish is named after the slimy shellfish that gives us beautiful pearls. The testicles are served in a variety of ways. In most cases, they are covered in crumbs, and while they were once food for cowboys, they are now popular in many places among regular folks. If you are looking for a mouthful of balls, you can drop into a bar in Colorado, where they have been serving them since 1957. In an effort to mix things up, they also serve lamb and bison testes. A number of other American towns also have annual testicle-eating festivals. Number 9. Blood clot soup, or black pudding as it is also known. If you're after a disgusting bowl full of blood clot, then this must be a treat for you. In the country of Lithuania, a kraujin sriuba is soup composed of the flesh of an entire chicken, duck, or goose and a good-sized cup full of blood. All the ingredients are boiled together, with the addition of herbs and barley, which is often eaten with the black bread. Blood is a popular dish of many European countries and is eaten in a variety of ways, most commonly as a sausage. But in Scandinavian nations, it is also sometimes served as blood pancakes, with a side of reindeer meat. On the whole, Lithuanian food is very rich and extremely good. The nation also has very low rates of obesity. Maybe we all need to start drinking blood clot. Number 8. Rotten shark. This is the national dish of Iceland, and popular among the older folks. The rotten shark has a smell which is so extreme, it will make you sick to your stomach just from a single sniff. Made from the Greenland shark, which is poisonous when eaten raw, and fairly rank when eaten cooked. It's been fermented in Iceland for centuries, and is even mentioned in the Icelandic sagas. The tissues of the Greenland shark contain large amounts of ammonia-rich urea, a compound also found in a well-known delicacy, called urine. And if that wasn't bad enough, the horror is multiplied by cooking the shark, and then letting it decompose for a couple of months before hacking off chunks of pungent rubbery flesh. Some who have eaten rotten shark say that it's the most rancid food on earth. Number 7. Raw Puffin Hearts. Puffins are small birds, with black and white feathers. They have ridiculously oversized beaks, and are absolutely adorable. Gordon Ramsay, being no stranger to controversy, recently came under fire for eating the raw heart from a dead puffin he had killed during an episode of his television series, The F Word. Animal rights groups were up in arms, and many people objected to the cruelty of the act. However, Icelandic people would congratulate and celebrate with him. The reason for this is, in Iceland, raw puffin heart is actually considered a delicacy, and puffins are eaten for food all the time. Ramsay actually had all the proper permits, and was cleared of any wrongdoings by the media authorities. Number 6. Chemicals, everywhere. It has to be admitted, the sheer volume of chemicals of unknown origin should horrify us all. Other than fresh foods like vegetables, you are left with basic minimal human food, doused in chemicals. The chemicals serve many purposes. They add color to anemic products that basically look like a sludge. When mass-produced in factories, they enhance flavor, when all the natural flavor in the form of fats is removed, due largely to the shockingly incorrect and widespread belief that animal fat is dangerous to humans, and they also add texture-modifying qualities, to keep powders dry, to keep liquids wet. While many of these are considered safe, the average Westerner is now eating a diet that involves majority chemicals. There are some legal food additives you have probably eaten this week, includes secretions from the anal of a beaver, insects, and human hair from China. Number 5. Alaskan Ice Cream. A kutuk, known as Alaskan Indian ice cream, is an ice cream made in Canada and Alaska, with origins in the native Eskimos of the regions, but also adopted more broadly by those living there. Whereas the rest of us use fat from eggs or milk to make ice cream, this one uses caribou fat and oil from freshly beaten seals sourced locally. In Canada, you can actually beat seals to death and go hunting for bears. The ice cream is also mixed with berries and sweet roots. And, if the idea of sweetened and chilled seal fat doesn't turn your stomach, it is traditionally made with the addition of fish and dried moose meat. It's not helped by the fact that it looks like a bowl of sick. Number 4. A roast Dortlin. This adorable bird is the size of a man's thumb, and weighs less than an ounce. It is meant to be eaten from the feet first, with the beak and head being last, so you can enjoy the subtle flavors of the brain, when the little skull breaks between your teeth. In 1999, the French government banned its use as food, but they also banned the use of ivory, yet it is still legally sold, via loopholes and legal exceptions for the very rich. The cost of one bird on the black market is around $180. The late chef Anthony Bourdain ate the bird and described his experience, and then later hanged himself. Number 3. Maggot cheese. Casu marzu is a traditional Sardinian cheese, made from sheep's milk. But the true grossness factor comes from what the cheese contains, a number of live maggots. The cheese is brought to a stage that some consider to be decomposition. Pyophilicaceae are brought to the cheese to help break down its fat. They eat through the milky mess, making it soften, and seep a liquid known as teardrop. While some people remove the maggots before consumption, many people consume cheese maggots and all. People are advised to cover their eyes when consuming it, as the maggots can leap out in an attempt to escape. Number 2. Mice. You might think of a dormouse as a sleepy little hamster, or a character in Alice in Wonderland, but to some people it's a favorite dish. In the times of ancient Rome, it was very popular to roast a dormouse, as a special delicacy. In the wild, a mice hibernates for the entire winter. However, the Romans allowed them to hibernate all year round, by keeping them in a special jar, away from the dark, so they become fattened. The jars are fitted with a staircase for the mice, places for them to deposit food, and air holes. When they are really fat, the dormice would be served stuffed with nuts, and roasted with honey and spices. Usually they were served as an appetizer. Dormice are still hunted today, and eaten in some parts of Slovenia and Croatia. Number 1. Fish guts. At the height of its use in the 1st century, garum was a sauce made from rotting fermented fish, which was incredibly popular in the Roman Empire. It was frequently combined with wine, oil, ground pepper, and water, to make a range of different sauces, or drinks that could be consumed or added to other meals. Even those on a budget could afford garum. This was popular amongst the poor and the rich. Factories dedicated to its production sprang up across the empire, and dedicated trade routes carried the stinking liquid to its furthest reaches. There is no exact equivalent in the West today, though the English Worcestershire sauce is made from fermented anchovies, guts included. Largely popular at the height of the Roman Empire, it faded with its fall, and drifted out of Western cuisine, maybe because it stank so much that people of new generation were put off.